Hi, this is Krista at The Secret Yarnery. Today we are going to be learning the chainless foundation stitch. So this technique is great. It works the same for if you're doing single crochet as your first row, half double, double, or treble. All you're going to do is add one more chain in the very beginning. So for single crochet, you would, instead of doing a chain 1 to get your height, you would chain 2. Or for half double, instead of doing a chain 2 to get your height, you'd chain 3. So we're going to be doing double crochet for this tutorial. So we're going to be doing a chain 3 to get our height plus 1. So a chain 4. So slip knot and then 1, 2, 3, and 4. So you're going to wrap your yarn like you're doing a normal double crochet, and you're going to go into that first chain, the first chain you made. Put your hook in, grab your yarn and bring it back, and then pull it up so it's a bit bigger, the same size as your other loops. Wrap your yarn and take off 1. Now you're going to grab that stitch. You're going to give it a little pinch. So I separate it with my thumb. So I have 2 strands of yarn underneath my thumbnail and 1 in front. And then you finish your double crochet. So wrap your yarn and take off 2, wrap your yarn and take off 2. So we've done our first double crochet and our chain. So wrap your yarn again, and you're going to go in right where you're pinching that stitch. So put your hook right in, and that's going to give you 2 loops on your hook. Grab your yarn and bring it back and pull it up so it's the same height as your other ones. Wrap your yarn and take off that first loop. So that's your chain. So wiggle your thumb in there, wiggle your thumbnail to separate those 2 loops under your thumbnail and 1 in front. And now you're going to do your double crochet. So wrap your yarn and take off 2, wrap your yarn and take off 2. So now we've done 2 of those stitches. But our chain 3, well, it's our chain 4 in the very beginning, counts as well. So we've done 3 stitches in total, counting our chain 4. So wrap your yarn and go in again right where you're pinching. Slide those 2 loops onto your hook. Grab your yarn and bring it back. Pull it up so it's the same height as those other guys. Wrap your yarn and take off that 1 chain, or that 1 loop, and then pinch that one. 2 loops under your thumbnail and 1 in front. Wrap your yarn and take off 2, wrap your yarn and take off 2. So each stitch we are doing our chain first and then are finishing our double crochet. So wrap your yarn and go right into where your thumb is, so 2 loops on your hook. Wrap your yarn and bring it back, pulling it up. Wrap your yarn, taking off that first loop, putting your thumbnail in there to get 2 loops under your thumb and 1 in front. Wrap your yarn and take off 2, wrap your yarn and take off 2. So that was our double crochet. And again, put your hook in right where your thumbnail is, 2 loops on your hook, grab your yarn and bring it back. Now pull that guy up, that's going to be your chain. Wrap your yarn and take off 1, that finishes your chain. Put your fingernail in there, or your thumbnail, 2 loops under your thumb, and 1 loop in front. Wrap your yarn and finish your double crochet. So take off 2, wrap your yarn and take off 2. And you just keep going like that, putting your hook right where your thumbnail was, 2 loops on your hook, grab your yarn and bring it back and pull it up. Wrap your yarn, take off the first chain, put your thumbnail there, wrap your yarn and take off 2, wrap your yarn and take off 2. And the joy about this one, if you want to stop or you need to go and do something or whatever, just grab a stitch marker and put it where you're holding it open with your thumb. Just put a stitch marker there. Then when you come back, you're going to know that that's where you're going to go into. The more you do this, you're going to be able to see that that's where you're going to go into. But in the beginning, you're like, do I go in here? Do I go, like, you don't know where to go in. That's why I always pinch it. And you'll see the starting chain is beautiful. It's the same as when you're going to finish. So that one, it's a really nice way of doing it. Same as going into the camel bumps or the back ridges, but easier, and it stretches the seam on both sides, so you don't have a tight starting chain. So this is a really good way to start ponchos or start anything that you want a nice finished edge and you don't want it to be too tight. Like you don't want it curling in on that chain because you did a small chain. So let's just do a few more stitches together. Take out that stitch marker. So I'm going to slide it in there, 2 loops on my hook, grab my yarn and bring it back, pull it up, wrap my yarn and take off 1. So that's my chain. Put your thumbnail in there or part of your fingers to hold that open a little bit and finish your double crochet. So chain 2, wrap your yarn and take off 2, wrap your yarn and take off 2. And you just keep going like that until you have as many stitches as you need for your first row of your work. So your foundation chain and the first row of double crochet. So it's a very practical, very easy to do stitch. What helps me a lot is doing that pinching. That helps me a lot. I didn't figure that out forever and it was really hard. But now I can do it all the time. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, subscribe, and share. And thanks for watching. Stay hooked.